Rap the news, and most of our people, when something happened, they cry and they are mad and angry about everything instead of understanding what's happening. We're going to show you the difference between trial and punishment today, because everything is treated like a punishment, even our trials, by our people, and our people are destroyed because of their ignorance. Trial definition is an examination or test to formally decide guilt or innocence, true or false. So God puts everybody under a trial to test and see who they are, and what he's trying is your heart. What does your heart love and what does your heart accept? Some people say, my heart is with God, and your heart ain't. Your heart is with fornication. Your heart is with weed smoking. Your heart is with the lust of this world. You know, that's what your heart is at the party. Your heart is with dating and whatever you do. That's where your heart is. Your heart is in your money and your job and your position. Your heart is not with God. So when God tries your heart, he's going to see that the love of money is more important than the love of God himself. That's trial. He's going to see that the love of sin is more important than the love of true worship to him, and he created man to serve him. Punishment definition is an infliction or penalty due by God as retribution for an offense. So people think they're going to escape punishment. No one escapes punishment. Everyone is to be punished for any crimes that they commit in breaking God's law. 100%. You're going to get punished. Forgiveness don't mean left unpunished. So most of us believe that God forgave you. When did you hear the voice that say, I forgive you? You never heard that voice. You know why? Because God may forgive you, but it don't mean you're going to be left unpunishment. Crap is going to continue to happen to you. We are a people under trial, Israel. And we're going to remain under trial and underfoot and trodden down until the end of the Gentiles. You ain't going to get out of it. You're going to suffer to the end of time. You ain't going to never get to a place where you're satisfied in life. You're going to get to a place if you have an understanding or where you are content. You are content if you get an understanding. And I'm giving you that understanding right now because most people don't have it. So let's look at what the Bible says about punishment. Job 19:29. Be ye afraid of the sword. The sword in this case is punishment. For wrath brings the punishments of the sword, that ye may know that there is judgment. Why are we getting punishment again? So that we know that there is judgment. I did something wrong, and then something happens. Sometimes it's instant gratification. The problem becomes is when God gives you time, and that time is called respite. When he gives you time, and he didn't punish you right away, and you think, I did this, I've been doing this for years, and nothing happened. I've been gay for years, and nothing happened. I've been a dyke for years, and nothing happened. I've been fornicating for years, and nothing happened. I've been robbing the company for years, and nothing happened. Until one day. So in the country, they have a saying, you're going to do that every time but once. Every time but once. And that one time, the punishment is going to come and get you right away. When you are righteous, I'm going to tell you the difference between the wicked is preserved to the end of time. So they don't get punished right away, people. So don't be deceived. You're saying, they're doing this, they smoking weed, Snoop is on there smoking weed, having a good time, partying, staying high every day, blah, blah, blah. And nothing ever seems to happen to them because they're wicked and their punishment is reserved to the end. The blessed get punished right away. You know, God punishes them whom he loves. So your punishments is happening all the time. You're like, dang, every time I do something, every time I turn around, something happening. And that's because you constantly are doing sin. Or you are a man under trial or a woman under trial. A woman wrote, this happened to me, that happened to me. This person died, that person died. And a bunch of crap is happening to me. Two things. Either you're the biggest corrupt sinner in the world and you got the wrath of God on you, and you under the curses big time, or you so righteous that God is really trying your heart and trying your patience and trying your endurance, because we have to endure all of this. What do you think endure mean? You got to go through the trials and the punishments until the end of time, and then stand up in righteousness, be found in righteousness in the end. We're going to go, so punished by the sword, that you may know that there is a judgment, that there are consequences for all of your actions. And then I'm going to say this again. Some people are like, oh, forgiveness mean that God let it go. And wrong answer. Really read the testimony of the Bible. It doesn't mean that. It means God forgave you that you don't go to hell, but you're going to pay for your crap. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that you went and did something, that he shall also reap. Then something happened back to you. Don't be deceived, as in saying, okay, I did some fornication, and basically nothing happened, and I felt guilty about it, and I said, oh Lord, please forgive me. I'm sorry for getting me some ass. And then I went about my merry way, and then I got $200 yesterday. So God must be proud and happy about me. He's saving your punishment for a day. And then you're going to turn the corner, and you're going to walk into your house, and your wife's leg's going to be up in the air, your husband going to be deep in something, and you're going to catch it with your own eyes. Retribution. You was not left unpunishment. You sowed something and you reaped something. All cheaters is going to be cheated on. All players is going to get played. It's a balance system. Again, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. You ain't going to make a mockery of God's system. I did a bunch of stuff and I still got into the kingdom. Nah. Whatever you sow, you walking on the house in the world in pure hell, you're going to receive hell. Let's keep going. Lamentations 4:6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughters of my people is greater than the punishment and sin of Sodom. What does he mean by that? He's saying Israel is getting punished way more than Sodom ever got punished. You're like, how? Because Sodom and the brimstones rained down on them. And then it's going to say that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. It's like somebody cut your throat and you just die, and then you in oblivion somewhere. Versus somebody got that extension cord on your ass, like some of us black people know, and you getting your ass towed up for eternity, and that extension cord don't stop. And when they hit in the same spot, we know who got it. It's stinging something for real. And that punishment never stops. It's called oppression after a while. And then what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah is slaughter. Oppression, God is saying, is greater than the slaughter. Again, really know what I'm saying here. The oppression of your people constantly going through a bunch of hell is greater than just getting destroyed in a moment. Slaughter. And no hands stayed on her. God is laying hands on you. And I'm talking about reaping what you sowed hands. You keep putting that wrong out there, you're going to keep getting paid. I tell my family, I said, the sin that's going to take away the greatest things is carnal, sex, being carnal. And then you're going to start losing everything. When you are losing everything, your credit is going bad and your money is going down low, it's because you're being sexual. Homosexual or sexual, each is going to go to hell. Now let's get into test or trial. I'm going to start with Jeremiah 20:12. But, O Lord of hosts, thou triest the righteous and seest the reins and the heart. What is God trying? Your heart. Again, to see if you love something, over him. Because God said, love him with all your heart, your mind, your soul, right? Everything that you got, you love him. And he said, a man can't serve two masters. Either you're going to love one, he's going to hate the other. Most people, most Christians, is loving Christ over God. You know, God is just some standby person in the shadow somewhere, and Christ is in the forefront. All religion is backwards. God is in the forefront, and Christ is in the shadow somewhere. Your religion is backwards. And so God is trying the heart to see if you really are sincere about obeying his commandments, or you just playing some game to try to get you through. It ain't going to work with God. You can't play an ounce with God. Either you serious, sincere, tried, tested, and true, or you false, and your ass is going to go to hell. Exodus 16:4, that I may prove them. Who is proving you? God. Whether they walk in my law or not. Or no. Whether they walk in my law or not. I'm proving to see whether they're going to hear and obey me, or they're going to be listening to the world. They're going to be reading books and listening to books. They're going to be listening to their money and listening to their self and their harsh desires. You know, the stars always say, follow your heart, follow your dreams. No, follow God. Fuck your heart and your dreams. If you get it. Anybody who ain't following God is going to go to hell. God ain't playing. Psalms 26:2. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my hearts. God gonna do that anyway. You don't even have to say, examine me. The moment you was born, you was being examined. God knew you from the womb. Psalm 66:10. For thou, O God, hast proved us. Thou hast tried us, as silver is tried. Tried, tested, and proved true. And true. You have tried us as silver is tried. What do you mean? You have taken us through a whole lot of fiery hell and burnt us and broke us down to an art form and remanufactured us back together, and we came out shiny. You know, he tested every ounce to make sure that it was 100% silver and you 100% true and faithful to your Lord. James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried. Blessed is the man. So, you know, my wife knows that if I go to the store, or go to a place, or I go somewhere far away, ain't nothing finna happen. She already know that. Ain't nothing finna happen. It ain't that I ain't capable of making something happen. It ain't that people ain't tried it. Oh, they didn't try it. But ain't nothing finna happen because I fear God. And that's why you need to get you a virtuous woman and a man that fear God. Why? Because their legs ain't gonna gap open every time the sun shine on it. Right? Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. So if you're a drug addict, and we all got our lows here, and you know, every time you see cocaine, you done. You need to go hit that pipe. You know, it's God ain't looking for you. God looking for one that you might have been a drug addict. And every bone in your body and urge may want to hit that crack pipe. Some of y'all, when I'm talking like this, want to go hit it, and you just say, no, I ain't doing that because God is going to punish my ass, and I'm tired of getting punished. How many of y'all is tired of getting punished? You are an adults. You are not little kids. Why, as an adult, you getting your ass beat left and right like you a little kid? You got to stop that and grow the hell up. If you're tired of getting punished, like Gentiles, they don't think they're getting punished. There's no trials and punishment. God is just a loving, forgiving God no matter what they do wrong, and their life is pure hell. And their life is an example of all the punishment that they're receiving. They just let them stay in ignorance then. You do some shit, you're gonna pay some shit. And I talk real English, people, on this channel. I ain't your pastor. I ain't your pastor. If I was in the church, I'd be cussing my ass off because I have no respect for the English language or anything from English or England. I ain't really got respect for that. I got respect for those who bow their head down to God. whether you black, white, green, yellow, and brown. I just respect if you serve the Lord or not. If you don't serve the Lord, I don't respect you. I don't respect things. I'm not a respecter of persons. I'm a respecter of the laws of God. Mark 13:13. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. If people don't hate you, something wrong. You ain't God's. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. No matter how much people hate you, no matter what people do to you, no matter how bad your life is, it's the story of Job. It's the reason why he put Job in there. He gave Job fortune, before, and a good life. And Job says himself, am I just going to receive all the good things of life and there ain't going to be no trial? He knew it was coming. And what happened? God destroyed his family. God allowed Satan to destroy his family. He allowed Satan to destroy all his wealth. All the way to the fact where he was just in the dust. And his wife was saying, curse God to his face. And he just refused to. Because he gets it. He know that God has him under a trial. He has to go through this. And let me tell you something about a trial. You pass the trial, you're not going to lose anything. So I've been tried. So we lost a great portion of the money that we used to pay the bills. We lost that. Oh well, we're under trial, and then we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay all these bills now, right? And God giveth and God taketh away, so the wise man knows. And so we're just going to sit here and we're going to endure. We're going to figure out what God is going to allow us to do. I'm on here making videos, whatever I do, and I ain't doing it for money. If God give me a donation through you guys, blessed, be the one that donate from his heart, and blessed be the Lord forever, and that's how I look at that. I'm not saying, give me something I deserve because I'm sitting over here working hard for you. No, I love y'all anyway. I would do this if God wasn't giving me a damn dime, and God knows that. A damn dime, I'm barely making ends meet, but I still would do it. They didn't knock down 20 of my YouTube accounts, and I wasn't making nothing. Barely making anything now. But I'm still right here, loving y'all. And this is the love right here. This commandments, these rules, these regulations of God to keep you safe from the damn devil. That's why we got all these rules and regulations. That's why your parents got them. He's trying to give you examples through yourself of how he does things, right? Signs in yourself, but the one that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. Luke 21:19, by your patient endurance, you will gain your souls. Not if you act out and go shoot up the mall. Not if you go knock your wife upside the head. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if any of y'all is big enough to know this. I'm pretty sure some of y'all is. If you went out there and you cheated on your wife, and you just slept with over 30 different women, and your wife is none the wiser, she don't even know you're doing it. And then one day you walk in, and Big Buck got her in a lock hole like a wrestling, and then the 10 count is going on. Don't say shit. How can you say shit? That's your retribution right there. Endure that crap, and this is endurance right here. Endure that. You may not like what she's doing. You can sit down with her. You can't judge her because you've been out there doing it yourself. And then here's a Matthew 7:1. By the judgment that you judge, and what judgment that you put out there that you met is going to be measured back to you. So, you mean to tell me that you can fornicate and do it over 30 women, and she in here getting screwed by one man, and her judgment is you put a bullet in her head? Nah, that's unjust, and you're going to go to hell for that shit. You can't put a bullet in your wife's head when you out there doing the do yourself. I know so many people that does this. If you the big man, and I'm a big man, You the big man, and you went and knocked so many people out. As a big person, here's what I say to myself. There is no competition in fighting a little man. And that little man may have a gun on him. You know what I mean? There is no competition in fighting a little man. Just because he's little, that don't mean that you ain't going to get got. You might get got. You may be able to outmuscle him and strangle him and whatever else, but you're going to get got because whatever you sow, you're going to reap. You might have knocked out, because you wicked as hell, a million people. And then one day you're going to get knocked out 1,000,000 times in one day. And that's sowing and reaping. So again, there's a difference between trial. If you are under a trial, and here's a trial, you haven't done anything wrong that you know of, but bad things are happening to you, right? Like Job. You endure that because after so long suffering, God is going to double He's going to give you double of what you went through. He ain't going to leave you unblessed. He's going to give you double of what you went through. All he's doing is testing your patience and your heart. Testing your sincerity and your love for him. That's a trial. If you doing crime, you fornicating, committing adultery, you gay, you murderous, whatever the hell your problem, you a drug addict, a alcoholic, you just doing crime out there. You a liar. Well, punishment is due to you. Punishment is due to everyone who sins. Deuteronomy 28, really study it. The curses are going to follow anybody who break the command. And that's the punishments. You ain't going to escape that. And then if you keep repeating crimes, the punishment is going to get harder and harder and harder. So, and lastly, again, forgiveness don't mean left unpunished. Quit deceiving yourself. Strap the news.